Well, hello there, and welcome once again to Motivational Monday. But it's not Monday, is it? No, it is Tuesday. Well, nonetheless, thank you for joining me, Salome Jacobs, where we are going to talk about roadblocks and attitude on your and my road to success. Hola, buenas tardes, ni hao, ni ma, como esta? Buongiornata, guten Tag, tonight, and to all of you, far and wide. Well, this is part 6 of Success God's Way. So welcome once again to another trailblazing session where we see the different roadblocks and attitudes that affect you and me along our way. You know, even though success begins with an idea, a light bulb moment, an aha or an epiphany moment, but that's all okay. What about roadblocks along your and my way? So in order for us to harness our success, be it in a marriage, work-related, friendships, partnerships, relationships, with an organization, at school or church groups, roadblocks and the attitude required to drive that vehicle or that organization or the business or even the student at school on his or her road to success or academic, elevation, achievement, to achieve the desired outcome or that desired need. So I have a few roadblocks to your and my success and also change in our attitude. How you and I can overcome that, and maybe, who knows, a change in career, a change in direction, who knows. But if you and I look at a roadblock, it's in the middle of the road. So that means stop and be patient, isn't it? There's roadworks ahead. Or the traffic officer comes and he says, driver's license please. Well, they come to examine and stop you. But what about a spiritual roadblock? Well, it could be seen in the light where you and I can benefit. Something that God places on our way. Yes, to some it could be negative, it could be positive. But it is also seen where you and I can grow in that place. There's a lesson to be learned in that place. And it simply means sometimes that you and I, we've been doing the same old. But now God is pushing you and me towards a different direction. Because change is one of the roadblocks, if you know what I mean. And I'll come to that. But number one I have is no clear vision. And it says the people will perish because of no vision. So having a definition of success of vision is that you will be obtaining it a little bit faster, but you will achieve it nonetheless. But be clear and be specific on your and my vision. Fear of failure. That is a big one, isn't it? Perhaps you have tried and you've failed in the exam and you're afraid you're going to do it again. You've failed your driver's license and you don't want to do it again. Third time is the charm, isn't it? Fourth, fifth, sixth time, who knows? But you and I are so fond of reading success stories, but we steer away from those who fail. Let that be your and my lesson today, to embrace a failed or failure story where we are able to learn from something, learn from someone, how they got to where they are today. Lack of determination, that's number 3. Are you really determined to pass the exam, to go to another grade? Are you prepared to really put in all the work so that you can obtain sponsorship, you can obtain a university scholarship? But be determined. And then number 4 is no action plan. Act, have faith. It's good to have faith, but you also have to act. Put the work in as well. Change is what keeps you and me stagnant. We don't embrace change. We perhaps don't like the idea when someone else comes into an organization and suggest different things, suggest different ideas, different way of maybe moving forward, and then we harbor on that. We agree to disagree. We're jealous, we become envious. But embrace change, because you never know that something good can come out of change. And then there's negative thinking, the chitter chatter up here. Someone saying you can't do this or you can't do that. That's not the way we do things here. But try and steer away. Lack of enthusiasm. Are you enthusiastic about something that you want to study for? Do you have the willpower to really, really go after it? Procrastination. Like, example, something that you have to do today, you put aside and thinking you're going to get around to doing it, but you haven't really. So, there's no time management. You really have not done anything about it. So if you procrastinate, you sometimes let opportunities pass you by. And then there's also a few more added, a lack of confidence. Sometimes you just have to brave out the storm, stand in front of the mirror and say, I can, I will, I'm able to do that. Fear of success. That can also be a roadblock, because you don't know if you don't try, and also when you reach that pinnacle of success, because success to everyone is different. It means maybe financial stability, living, the high life. You're on a high roll, but success is where you see yourself now, and the little steps, your achievements, you pass your exams, yay, that's success. You bought a vehicle, that's success. So perfectionism also is a roadblock, And then inertia. What does inertia mean? Well, it simply means that some of us, we have the tendency to do absolutely nothing at all. You prefer being stuck in that rut and just accept that is your lot. That's inertia. That you remain unchanged. That you will hear people say, that is just how she is. That is just how she is. You either like it or you lump it, but that is simply just how she is. But you're not born that way, So that is a few of the roadblocks and the hindrances that come along your and my way. But sometimes they're there to boost your confidence, to push you in the right direction, to say, you can do it. Then again, also, don't quit because of the challenges. Yes, things are hard, things can be difficult, but if someone has placed you in that role, they see that you have something inside of you. They see that you've got potential. So face your attacks head on. Don't quit because of slanderism. Don't quit because of the negative darts, the negative arrows coming at you. Don't quit because of gossip. Everybody has something to say. Believe you me, everybody has something to say. But has the people that have said something, have they really done something about it? No, but you did. So quit, quit thinking that you don't have a chance, because you do. There's something inside of you. And who knows, it might not be the way someone else might have done it. But someone out there, God chose you. So, in order for you and me to really be successful, we need a very good support system, a very good support network, mentors, colleagues, pastors, prophets, people that can pray you through, because you need people aligned with your vision to see it go forward, but also acknowledge the ones below you to bring out the best of them, because it's not all about you. It's about everybody in the business, everybody in the corporation, everybody in the company, everybody in that church organization. Then I came across Brene Brown, and she says, choose courage instead of fear. Fear can really, really rule you. It can really rule you to the extent of you not doing what you feel you want to do. If you really allow fear to rule in your life, then you're not going to find the job that you want. You're not wanting to be able to drive the vehicle. You're not going to be able to step out aside. So, remove fear. Fear is not the head of you. Fear is not the master of you. Trust God in everything that you put your hands to do. And I'm reminded of something that I was given many years ago by this beautiful lady, and she went off to see the Lord. But she gave me this paper and she said, I want you, and I still have it, mind you, and she said, I want you to read this at home. And it said, the road to success is not straight. There is a curve called failure, and mind you, many times we fail. A loop called confusion. Speed bumps called friends. Red lights called enemies. Now, it didn't say yellow or green. It said red lights called enemies. Caution lights called family. You will have flat tires called jobs, but if you have a spare, called determination. An engine called perseverance. A driver called God. Then you will make it to that place called success. So on your way to success, or where you think you will find yourself someday, don't forget about the ones who have helped you. Don't forget about the ones that have prayed you through. It's like Jesus healing the 10 lepers. 9 walked away, but 1 came back. Then I was looking at Joshua 1 verse 8, the attitude of success, because you can be a person in a very high position, but what about you and my attitude? Joshua 1 verse 8 says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Success doesn't mean we have to walk over other people. Success doesn't mean that we have to think that, you are so smart that you don't need the assistance, the help of people. There is instruction and guidelines given to you and me by the book, the Bible. And I came across a poem written by Chuck Swindoll, and also I will be reading out of my book, You Don't Know the Cost of My Alabaster Box, an extract on day 11, where I will read you a part of a puzzle relating to roadblocks and attitude to your and my success. But Chuck Swindoll says, the longer I live, now many might not agree to the sentiment, and some will. But nonetheless, here is the poem. He goes on to say, the longer I live, the more I realise the impact of attitude on life. Attitude to me is more important than facts. Now, we know in a court of law, Your Honour, I have the facts before me, but he says one's attitude is more than facts. It is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than successes, than what people think, say or do. He goes on to say it is more important than appearance, giftedness or skill. It will make or break a company, a church or a home. The remarkable thing is that we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day. We cannot change our past, we cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play on the one string we have, and that is our attitude, your and my attitude. He goes on to say, I'm convinced that life is 10% of what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in charge of our attitudes. So, who is responsible for your attitude? Who is responsible for my attitude? Is it the person sitting next to you? Is it your teacher, your parent, your friend, or your foe, or your friend enemy? No, it's you and it's me. It's the way you or I receive and what we intend to do with that. Are you a person that can receive negative criticism? Can you receive, negative remarks, negative comments? You see, most times we give the mockers and the scoffers the I told you so's. We give them the upper hand, isn't it? We give them the right of way to determine you and my day. No. Change your attitude. Sometimes you and I, we try to blame our attitude, on our spouses, on our children, on our bosses, on our government. But what do you and I do with that stigma of our lousy attitude? We raise our children not for ourselves but for the world out there. So they look at you and me, because you and I are the best Bible that people out there can read. But yet you and I, we still like to blame others for our wrong choices that you and I made. So what do? We pass on the buck, we pass on the blame. But you chose to receive that negativity. So how about you and I begin to change our attitude? According to Psalm 118, where it says, verse 24, it says, this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. But what is the meaning of that verse? It simply says, it's an expression of you and my gratitude, our joy, our praise. Because you and my attitude is a choice. It determines our day. Maybe smooth sailing or not. It could be filled with darts, red robots, you name it. But at the end of the day, ask God, what did I do with that negative remark? What did I do with that negative criticism? What did I do with that negative dart? So yes, Soul Sister Prayer Warrior, it's a difficult time, a difficult period right now. But let's not blame others for you and my mistakes. Let's stop blaming others for our failures, because there's a lesson in there for you and me. After all, it's the choices that you and I have made. But you know what? We are a child of the Most High God. God has designed you for a purpose. So you're born to win. You get up, you dust yourself off, you admit the mistakes, the error of your ways, you ask forgiveness, and you show up and you allow God, you allow God to bring out the best in you. I'm always reminded of the tale of the hare and the tortoise, where the moral of the story is slow and steady wins the race. And then I came across this, which I felt was very, very befitting for Roadblocks and You and My Attitude to Success. And it says, "Dear me, you've been through a lot, and boy, oh boy, haven't we all? I know it's hard, but I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of who you are. You are strong and you are brave, bright and smart, and you were given the gift of a beautiful heart. So keep going strong and try not to stray. Everything you're praying for is on its way." So it doesn't matter how bad or how awkward your day has been. There's always someone's story that is maybe, worse off than yours and mine. And yet we mumble and we grumble, and we forget that there is a divine up there who has woken you up. The sun greets you and me every morning. The Son of God greets you and me every morning. But not once have we said, "Thank you, for indeed this is the day, Lord, that you have made. Help me to change my attitude, the error of my ways." Always remember that God is greater than your circumstances. God is greater than your pain, than your heartache. God is greater than your my setback. I was saying to another soul sister not so long ago, I said, gosh, each time I'm faced with a setback, I know God is preparing me for a greater comeback. And that's the attitude that you and I, though we fail and fail, keep on trying and try again. For when you are facing a setback or a negative onslaught, then God is preparing you for a comeback of all sorts. Because God is greater than the divorce you've just gone through. God is greater than everything you have walked away from. Because He's equipping you. He's instilling in you gifts and talents. But what are you going to do? Are you going to bury them, or are you going to show up and produce them? God is greater than any crisis that you are facing right now. So lift up your heads, holy gates, and let the King of Glory, let the fire of God shine through. Let the fire set ablaze in all you do. So may God bless the work of your hands today as you choose and believe. Yes, there are roadblocks, but ask God to change you and my attitude. And then I came across, stop carrying ill feelings into new experiences. So before I round up roadblocks and you and my attitude to success, again, out of the book You Don't Know the Cost of My Alabaster Box, I'm going to read out day 11, where it says, you are part of a puzzle. You're part of a puzzle in someone's life. Sometimes as a single or whole. Entwined, you go through wrenching times. Should it be allowed, but nevertheless you fit in somewhere. You're never alone. You're not designed to be alone except by choice. Your significant role is to be sincere, honest, trustworthy. To go the distance, for you never know when life throws you a curveball. During these crucial times, that's when friendships, relationships, marriages are being tested. Let your valley be an inspiration of who you really are. Stand firm, for indeed a mighty wave of reform and transform will come and precepts change. So are you prepared for change? So today, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Be the change. Eliminate, downscale, but be the change, not jury, in your time of transition and position. Perhaps you came along to support. Perhaps to identify what works or doesn't. Perhaps to rectify past mistakes and move on. Perhaps God positioned you to try and test you. Each phase of our lives needs to fit. Most times, young or old, we knock heads. We get frustrated, and as old as we are, like it or not, some never grow up. Don't learn, but therefore keep repeating same old mistakes. Thing is, if your soul didn't learn the lesson, God brings you back to rectify so one soul can detach itself of that repetitive lesson. You see, I speak from that part of the puzzle that kept running back and forth. That puzzle experience that you don't really want to, but forced to eventually drop your sword and face that bitter pill head on. Why? Simply because I had to, you had to. For you and I are part of an intricate detail that will assist, educate and stimulate someone's journey in the life book of I see you, I feel you, I read you, I get you. Allow yourself to be a product of knowledge that can equip, transform and reform. Remember, God is putting your and my life back together like a puzzle, transforming each piece and meticulously putting it back in their proper place. Wake up, get up, dress up, look up, believe up. Decide to change up so you can benefit to see results when you make a difference and an impact in someone's puzzle up. And this is out of You Don't Know the Cost of My Alabaster Box. Yes, a 90-day inspirational meditation nuggets for women. But not only for women, for males too. Well, I don't know about you, but it is Tuesday, isn't it? And what an awesome time that you and I are in. So once again, thank you for joining me, Salome Jacobs, wherever you are. Thank you for inviting us into your homes, into your humble abode. And if you are there celebrating a birthday, a anniversary, perhaps you received good news, good tidings of good cheer. Happy birthday, happy anniversary, and congratulations to you. And may God continue to knit you together like only He can do. Well, Motivational Mondays, where we speak success, growth, expansion, God's way. Well, it's been really, really awesome in the garden where we talk with the Lord. We invite Him and we give Him all the honor, all the praise and all the glory, because there's nothing you and I can do without Him, without God's release, without God's yes, without God's approval, without God. You and I can simply not do anything. We can try and try, but if God is not in it, then it will simply be for a season. Let what you and I do be permanent. The work of God is permanent. So goodbye, thank you, Shishine, grazie, hamse hao, do vidzinia, au revoir, guli gule, ma slamati. Tashian. Gavasti, Lakon. Anyong, spasiba, Haved. Remember, last wife, she looked to the back. And what happened? she turned into a pillar of salt. Look ahead, look up, and we thank God. And when we look down, we stomp the head of the enemy. It's a bit of ground, isn't it? So, arrivederci. Until the next time we see one another. So from me and from each and everyone here at Into the Garden, have an awesome, productive week ahead. It's a new season. It's a new challenge. It's a new you and it's a new me. So thank you for joining me on this trailblazing session of Roadblocks and you and my attitude to go on my road to success. Take care now. Until next time we meet again.